Hey guys, welcome back to another week. Today we're having part 2. Last week we had part 1. If you haven't watched it, please go ahead and watch it. It was an amazing time and it's going to keep being a blessing this time.
Yeah, so why do we care? Why do we care about translating the word of God into several other languages? Because for example, in Islam, the Quran is it is translated into English and I believe Spanish and several other languages, but it's kind of common, and if you are raised in a Muslim culture and you speak Arabic, it's expected that you are able to read and understand the Quran in the original text. They really value that.
Yeah.
And like we talked in the last episodes, it's really important.
Yeah,
The original text.
that culture is that type of culture. They tend to have people know their original language. Like they made a huge emphasis on their their future generations to be able to speak their native
100%,
language.
because language is culture.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
And language drives culture.
Language
as well.
drives, but
Yeah.
culture also drives language. We talked about this last week.
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
different coastal cities and central cities of countries. But yeah, language.
Well,
drives,
that was off camera.
oh
Yeah. So
no.
well,
We actually talked about it.
guys,
no.
don't
I
remember.
thought no, because
No. Yeah, we did. We
all right.
did.
Well, I'm going to talk about it anyway because I like to. For
Yeah.
example, in no, maybe we
Around
did.
this
Yeah,
way.
because I did talk
I
about the
don't
colors.
remember.
Didn't I?
Yeah, we did.
Well, anyway, language drives culture. Culture drives language. Religion drives culture. Drives language. Drives. It's like a triangle
Yeah.
of goodness.
Mhm.
And they all kind of feed into each other and they all pull from each other. So yeah, I think the fact that like for example the Quran is preserved in its original language, and for example like the prayers and everything, they're all in the original language, they're not really translated. It preserves something like, for example, prayers. They're very melodic. They're sung. Actually, the whole Quran is sung. I have an app on my phone that is the Quran, and it has like audio versions and it's sung, because it's very like melodic. It has a nice sound to it.
It's kind of like the Psalms.
Yeah, exactly where I was going. It's like the Psalms, where we lose a lot of the song part of the Psalms.
Mhm.
But they preserve it in a way.
Yeah, because we don't. And well,
I
when
would-
you're not doing ancient Hebrew, you don't have that. The flow, you don't have the rhymes, you don't have the
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I
You
would
don't.
be genuinely interested in listening to the Psalms in the original Hebrew.
There's a guy. Okay, his name, I forget his name, but look up Hebrew worship. I'll try and find it. And then they can link it in the description.
Okay.
So funny story, sidetrack. I went to a music festival, 3-day music festival in Romania. Okay, and they had a bunch of Romanian musicians. They had some speakers, Romanian Americans, Romanian bands, American bands. I met Lecrae.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
In Romania?
Yup, I met Lecrae
That
in
is-
Romania.
That is dope.
Yeah, got a selfie with him. Put on B-Real. I don't use B-Real anymore, but it was back in the B-Real time, to give you some context. Not too long ago. Yeah, it was really cool. They had a guy. They just labeled as Hebrew worship, but I'll try and find his name. Super cool guy. He's I think he's Israeli, but I mean it makes sense. But he speaks Hebrew, and he sang, and they put together the Psalms in the original language.
Oh, that
It was
is
yeah.
so cool.
I'll show you guys after. Sorry to the viewers. I have videos of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll show you after. It was like so crazy, and they had the Hebrew on screen. But they also had like the transcription of it into like letters that we understand,
Mm-hmm.
and so you were able to like kind of sing along. You're not pronunciation is not 100%, but it was like cool to sing the Psalms as they were meant to be sung.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like even back in like Genesis, Exodus, all of the
Yeah.
where there's like all these songs of God has delivered us.
Yeah, Deborah.
And-
I mean, not
yeah,
Deborah
Yeah.
in Judges. Wait,
yeah.
Deborah?
No.
No. What's her name?
Well, are you talking about?
Judges, Barak, and who's the? It's Deborah, right?
the tent peg lady?
The one that
'Cause
sang, the one that sang about it.
Oh yeah. It was her because she was the judge.
Quick fact check. Yeah, she was the judge.
She
and
was the
Barack
judge.
Barack came to her. He was
That's
like,
right. That's right.
"Can I go?"
And Jael, I think it was Jael. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Jael. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So there's a lot of songs throughout the Hebrew Bible, that we miss out on it, truthfully, because we don't get to hear them. Let me see. Oh yeah, the Song of Deborah, Judges 5. Go read it. It's a great song. Doesn't
And that
really-
story in general is fantastic.
so great.
Fantastic.
You know the whole Bible. It's pretty. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, so why care about it? I don't know. I'm not gonna convince you. I'm just gonna share why I care about it. One, I
Sure.
like languages. I like to learn about them, and I like the Bible. I like my faith. And so it kind of just all goes together. It makes sense to me. But the thing that really gave me the inspiration to talk about this, and the inspiration to do a little more research into it, I went to the Bible Museum this past July in DC. Great museum, lots of floors, didn't have enough time. But I'm so glad I went on this one floor, and it was like the history of the Bible. It was so cool. They had a lot of artifacts. I don't know if they were all real, some copies probably, but they have like the history of the Bible, kind of like what I was talking about, the Septuagint, the Latin Vulgate. We'll talk about some more translations throughout history. But they had this room called like the Illumination Room or something. Illuminations is an organization, and I guess they donated or put this thing together for the Bible Museum. But it's an organization. I'll read their description online. It's an alliance of Bible translators an alliance of Bible translation partners working to eradicate Bible poverty in this generation. The poverty of the Bible, not having that. Back to like, we're very privileged. We're very rich. We're Bible rich. Can't choose what translation. I have to look up what the different translations are. What is RSV, ASV, ESV, KJV, NKJV, NRSV, NASB, ASB, just to name a few.
Dude, yeah, you go in your phone, you go in the Bible app, and then you pull a translation. And just like it's a whole list of different translations.
Yeah,
that you can choose.
what do you choose? Luckily, we'll talk about that in the next episode, maybe.
The Message Bible.
Yeah, no. We'll talk
KJV
about
only.
it.
No, I'm just kidding.
I have a fun fact about that
Ew.
later. So back
Right.
to the Illuminations. They want to eradicate Bible poverty. They want to give everybody the Bible by 2023.
Yeah.
Their goal is to see all people gain access to God's word in a language they can clearly understand. That's not every language, but a language they can clearly understand by 2033.
So
9 years from today,
if it takes 16 years to do it,
they're already in progress. If you go on their website, they have a progress bar of how many chapters they need to translate, how many have been translated, and how many chapters remain to be translated to meet this
Dude,
goal.
I love progress bars.
They're great.
I'm sorry, I love them.
Yeah, so it's not like we have 3,400 languages to start grinding out in the next 9 years. That wouldn't make sense. And I don't fully understand all the numbers. I don't work there. I'm not paid by them, unfortunately. But they have some other numbers beneath their fancy progress bar. And there's a lot of 99 point something % of people who have the New Testament, some part of the New Testament, something, this, that, full access to some part of the Bible by 2023. So they're on a roll. And that's where I got the numbers for how much does it cost? They are I think a nonprofit, I hope a nonprofit, but all of the donations that they take go to funding Bible translation. So they work with Wycliffe, I don't know how to say it, Wycliffe Bible Translators, American Bible Society, a bunch of different translation organizations, and they work with them. I don't know if they actually have their own division of translators, but they work with them to translate the Bible into all these different languages that we're missing. And so they have this like 12 verse something challenge where it's like you donate $35 a month and it helps 12 verses of the Bible get translated in a year, which doesn't seem like a lot until everybody decides Obviously,
Until you do your part.
yeah, and I think obviously not everybody's is financially equipped to do that. But I don't think it's like a yearly, like you're locked into a year. I mean, it's a nonprofit. I don't think they're gonna scam you. And it's it's for a greater purpose.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you get a little extra birthday money, little Christmas coming up, get some Christmas money, maybe toss a 35 there.
From the
It's
Bible.
one extra, but that's John 3:16 for someone in a remote tribe. And if they know John 3:16,
And even
that could be all they need.
even fun, that is something that God sees and blessings are gonna show up.
Yeah, and another thing, tithing. We're asked not demanded, but we're asked to give 10% of our first fruits to the Lord. That doesn't have to be your church's give site. Does it help to give to your church? Absolutely. Pay your pastors, pay for the electricity and everything. But maybe you're passionate about this too, and you feel called. $35 a month of my tithe, I'm gonna give to these Bible translators.
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to be. In the same way, you can, if Michael's going to Kazakhstan for another mission trip, I can be like, this month's tithe's going to Michael.
Mhm.
Maybe for a couple months it'll go to
Appreciate
Michael.
it.
It's still helping the
It's
church.
something to fund ministry.
Yeah, it's helping the church, and to get into the language again,
Yeah.
it's helping the Catholic Church. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. Before all you Protestants, Reformed folk rage quit the video, hold on. What is the Catholic Church? Lowercase or uppercase C? Uppercase C, the Roman Catholic Church. That's who we know, the papacy, whatever you call it. Questionable activities going on. I'm Reformed myself. But where did that originally come from? If you read the original Apostles' Creed, it refers to the Catholic Church. Newsflash, it didn't exist back then. We didn't have Roman Catholic Church back then. The word Catholic comes from the Greek katholikos. It just means worldwide. It means everywhere. It's the church everywhere. We're all part of the Catholicos Church,
Mm-hmm.
the Catholic Church.
Gotcha.
That's where the Roman Catholics took it from.
Mhm.
They didn't come up with that. Peter did. And I'm just kidding.
And
But
as a local missionary myself, you view all monetary value as God's, right?
Yeah.
So you're moving
100%.
God's money from your bank account to your churches, or from your bank account to this other organization bank account, right?
It's all the same. It's all the same.
It's
It's God's money.
It's just God moving His own funds around.
If you're out of town, you visit a church, tithe to them.
Mhm.
Why not? As long as they're doing God's work, He'll use it the same. Maybe they decide to send a fat check over to your church, and your money's part of it. I don't know.
Hey, yeah.
But anyway,
I think a little bit with tithing, it's very important to tithe to your own church because that's a part of your community. But all of your money, or all the money that you do tithe, shouldn't go to just your church, in my opinion. For these reasons,
it can.
because
It doesn't have to.
one church isn't gonna, one church isn't doing everything. But
100%. Yeah, yeah. And make sure when you tithe, this is turning into a tithing episode. I'm gonna wrap it up real quick, but just do it, joyfully.
yeah,
Give with a
Dude, that's something we could talk about.
joyful heart. New
We did an
episode coming
on-
soon.
We did an episode on giving.
Yeah, but like specific,
like
we can
tithe.
we can do specifically about tithing.
Break
that
down
that
the
would be
origin of
interesting.
tithe.
Let us know if
But-
you guys want an episode on tithing.
And even if you don't, it's coming out. Sorry.
Yeah, so I mean that's all I really had planned for that Bible translation. Where'd it come from? What does it look like today? And how can we impact in the future? What the future's yet to be. We all play a part in deciding the future.
Mm-hmm.
Who gets a Bible? How many Bibles do we get across the world in all the languages? It's in your hands today. And it's not something that it's far off 2033. I can't imagine, Like, why not have everybody get a Bible before all before all gas vehicles are banned?
Mm-hmm.
Think about it.
Just give
As-
a Bible with every car.
I think the first step is
Dude, that's what my dad used to do. He used to sell cars. Every single sale that he did, he put a Bible in the car.
Amen.
Wow.
But yeah, it starts with us. It starts with knowing that there's a need. We're so privileged, especially in
Yeah.
speaking English, to have so many Bibles. Actually, I just remembered I have some props.
Oh, bring out the props.
Sorry to you
Props.
audio viewers. So
That's why they have to
I wanted
go
to
watch the video.
emphasize a little bit those numbers that we have. So right here I have my current Bible that I'm using at study.
Mhm.
It's CSB, has a lot of cool illustrations and it's pretty easy to read. It's not like the dual column Bible. It kind of puts it in paragraph phrase, and I just find that easier to like read. And it's not a paraphrase, paragraph. We'll get to that later. So this is what I use, CSB. It's pretty good for study. I like it. I actually learned about this Bible at the Bible Museum in the gift
Oh,
shop. I
cool.
didn't buy it there, too expensive.
CSB.
CSB, Christian Standard Bible, I believe. But
Huh.
so you know how it takes 7 years? We learned 7 years to translate the Bible into the New Testament, into a new language. So I have this gift that Michael gave me last Christmas.
Oh yeah, that's right.
One of my most cherished possessions.
Oh.
This is okay.
I'm honored.
Again, don't rage quit. It's the global New Testament. This is not one world something. This is a New Testament. It's pretty thick. It's about the size of most Bibles, actually. It's just the New Testament, but it's in 6 different languages side by side. So every page has 3 columns. So if you open it up to any page, on the left side of the page, and I'll just tell this for the audio viewers and I'll show the video, you have English, German, French. And on the right side of the page, you have Spanish, Russian, Arabic.
Oh,
And
that's so cool.
Every page is the same text and it's kind of lined up the same. So each verse you can see side by side almost. But yeah, it's a great resource. So I'm fortunately able to read in 2 of these languages. Maybe one day I'll read in 3 or 4.
Well, you can do a little bit of French too, right?
Yeah, I can. Okay, so I can read it, and it's close enough. Like I have the Spanish there, so if I was just had Spanish and French, I could make sense of it.
Yeah.
At least maybe 60% of it. But especially reading, it's a little bit easier than listening because
Yeah.
pronunciation in French. Don't get me started.
The
But yeah,
different enunciations in French is
yeah.
it's a little rough.
But this is so. It's a cool Bible, but think about it: 7 years for each translation that we have in our hand. Well, you take it.
Okay.
7 times 6. Quick maths, Daniel.
Wow.
7 times 6. That's
Well, he's thinking. You can look at that.
dude.
Put a timer up. Andy, you got this. I'm gonna read through the entire New Testament in 6 different languages. By
42.
the time,
42 years.
yeah, my math teacher would be like, 42. What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Units.
Units.
Anyway.
42
Ooh.
apples.
So yeah, and then Danny, I'll give you this while he's looking at that. This is just the Bible in Romanian, and this is to illustrate 16 years of work
Oh,
just to
wow.
render the Bible in this language. And there's a business card from the embassy of Romania in here. Anyway, yeah, and you can take a look at that. So those are some props I had this week. Very cool. Michael gave me the one, and then
Interesting that
I got this from I believe
this
my
doesn't have
parents.
anything in the front or in the back.
Yeah.
Like it just has this on the side.
We
Huh.
keep it simple in Romania.
Tell me again. So, German. That's right.
German.
English, German, French, Spanish, Russian,
Arabic.
Arabic. Very interesting.
It's interesting they put Arabic all the way on the right so that
So
because it's right to left.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Makes a little
Yeah.
more sense.
It's what's also interesting to
Ah.
me is how, like Russian, for example. Where was I? I was on this page. Yeah, Russian has. I was reading whatever this is, Luke, I think 48.
Sure.
It says you are witnesses of these things. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words, and in Russian it's only 3.
Yeah.
And in German, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Dude.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
I don't know if this is off camera or on the last episode. Remember how we talked about German being too precise? They have a
Oh,
word
yeah.
for everything.
Yeah.
It's on the
They have a
episode.
word for everything. Yeah, I think it's on the other episode. German. How many words was it
15-ish.
in the Russian?
3.
That's what I'm saying.
In English, 6. In Spanish, 6.
How about Arabic?
In Arabic, I think 6, but I don't know. I don't know.
Dude, this is interesting. I've never seen Romanian language.
Yeah,
Huh.
it's
Nice.
it's cool. Yeah, you want to switch?
It is.
And,
It is cool.
Let's
check 'em out.
switch. Let's switch.
sorry, I don't know how.
For
I
you
was
audio
expecting that.
viewers, I mean,
Yeah.
you're missing out on a
You-
lot.
It's on
are
YouTube.
missing
Followers
out.
by Design podcast.
We're out here reading, dude. This is crazy.
Yeah, so those are something I love Bibles, bro. I love different language. I mean, when I tell you I love this Global New Testament, that when I got it as a gift, I was like, this has got to be the best thing. Yeah, a little rash statement, but it's got to be the best gift I ever got.
This is
Yeah.
Michael, this is interesting because now that I've been learning the Russian alphabet and like starting to do it, like I can kind of understand a little bit of it. This is interesting. Now I'll be almost able to read in 3 languages.
Yeah, guys. Okay, I know the episode's still running. We're just chatting. Maybe this is the end credits or something. But a super interesting way to learn a language, if you have a target language, say you want to learn Spanish, get the Bible, even the New Testament, get it in Spanish. And if you have something like this, you can get like Spanish, English side by side, or you can go overboard and get 6 languages side by side. Get it in that language and read it in that language. As you have to, you could. It's not very feasible. Just get the Bible and expect to learn the language. But if you're taking a language course and you want to, learn, and you're like, man, I should get some text. The Bible's not too. There are complicated words. It's a little bit complex.
Mm-hmm.
But the New Testament, start with John.
I
John
was just
1:1.
gonna say,
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word
I'm
was
doing
with
that
God,
with
and the Word was God.
Russian.
You'll learn so much about that language just by that one.
Mm-hmm.
That
And it's the way you talk.
yeah,
Just make sure that you get a modernized translation.
yeah.
Because
Hey, we'll talk about that in the next episode.